With finishing in the top three in their first few competitions, the Liberty rock climbing team was looking to close out the season strong before heading into the postseason. But with their year being cut short, the Flames now turn their attention to next season. And sitting down with me right now is the head coach of the men's and women's rock climbing team, Elliot Gaunt. Elliot, thanks for sitting down with us.
Of course. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Elliot, let's go back and talk a little bit about your season before everything got shut down and you guys were able to compete in three of your competitions where there was top three finishes in all the competitions. So talk a little bit about, you guys were kind of paving the way for having a really solid season.
Yeah, the local competitions that we competed in had some pretty good turnouts, and then our results were great too. Athletes, I think, were really primed and ready to go for the entire season. It was a bummer with everything that kind of happened at the end of the season, but we're still very proud and happy to see where everybody was kind of heading in that whole season. We'll see where it goes this year.
And yeah, let's talk about that. Obviously,
Sure.
COVID shutting everything down affected so many different seasons and so many different sports. And for you guys, when you finally heard that your season was going to be canceled, talk a little bit about, like, obviously the reaction from the team, but even more so, how things have kind of progressed since then.
Yeah, I mean, most of it's understanding. You know, it's been an interesting time for all of us. So they kind of understood the progress that we had to kind of make and the shifts and changes that we had to make. It is definitely disappointing because a lot of them had put in a lot of time and training and effort to get where they were throughout the year. But, you know, we have to roll with things sometimes and make adaptations as needed, and just to make sure that everybody stays healthy and to promote our entire industry as well by reacting to something in an appropriate way. So they understood, were able to kind of take it in stride really well. I saw a lot of support and stuff like that throughout the team and camaraderie between that and stuff. And they've been trying to supplement training and doing things differently amongst themselves and amongst all of their peers.
And let's talk a little bit about, obviously, it's hard to look forward into next season, but obviously a lot of optimism now, hopefully, with having a season in the fall. Talk a little bit about your team coming up this year because obviously more than half of your team were underclassmen. And one of the things you were talking about not only was a solid foundation laid for this past season, but the goal was to hopefully build not only better but more experienced climbers, and feel like next season you're going to have that.
For sure, yeah. We hit the ground running really well this year. That's why it's kind of a bummer that COVID happened, but at the same time, we totally understood. And we're excited to see, hopefully, that momentum roll into this next year, even though there's been a little bit of a hiccup. We still really set a really good stride in the beginning of the year, and we saw that with some of the results that we had, and we're hoping to take some of those structured training styles that we really kind of got in a groove of and be able to carry those over to this year. Like you said, we have a lot of underclassmen that are coming in. They've gotten used to that style, and they started to do really well. So being able to contact them and be in touch with them to help continue to help them train and progress and stuff over this kind of downtime that they have right now should help them when it comes time to kind of step back into the season and to set us up for success throughout the entire year.
And yeah, let's talk a little bit about, obviously, training and how you've been able to communicate with your team through all this, because you were saying some climbing gyms are open, but others aren't. They're being a little bit more hesitant of fully opening. So how are you able to get guys and girls training during this time right now?
Yeah, it's interesting because we have to be very ingenuitive right now. You know, it's like, what do you have at home that you can use in order to train or do different things? So a lot of them are doing more like cross-training style stuff, running just to try to stay in shape. And then I've come up with, it all depends on what each person kind of has available to them. Some of them, like you said, some gyms are open. So if they're at home, they can go to their local gym. Our facility's not open just yet, so they haven't been able to come to Liberty just yet. But we're working on kind of getting that open here soon, hopefully. And then they'll have that as an option as well to come in and get climbing again. But there's a lot of different ways that you can supplement training for climbing. And so we've been kind of working and staying in contact with all of our athletes through the summer and through this kind of downtime just to make sure that they stay in good shape and stay motivated for the upcoming season.
And with your team, obviously, you've been there since the groundwork was laid and obviously when the foundation of the team was forming. So talk a little bit about now going into your fifth season with the program, how the changes have really happened, because we've seen the program grow tremendously. Obviously, you guys have not only competed on the national stage, but had success there. And then also, as we talked about, the prestige now, I feel like is starting to really take shape with this rock climbing team.
Yeah, it's been really neat to see, not just in our club sports team and stuff like that, but also like as the industry as a whole, because now we're in the Olympics and stuff too. And of course that got postponed due to all the stuff that's going on. but that really helped all of us gain a lot of momentum throughout the entire industry. And we've been able to feed off of that as well. Like, it's been really neat to finally starting to settle into, like I was talking about with our groove, so to speak, as far as training and how we want to structure the team and how things want to be laid out for like travel team and kind of our developmental squad that we have. We've really finally found a really good setup of exactly how we want to do that to motivate students to continue to grow and to learn, to get stronger and to get better, while it being a positive environment and stuff too. That it's been a bit of a learning curve, you know, like you said. I've been here since the beginning and I've made some mistakes, but that's okay. We have to take those mistakes and we have to learn from them and be able to create the best environment for our students to become not only great athletes, but great humans to be able to go out and impact the world for the Lord.
Well, awesome, Elliot. Thanks again for sitting down with us, and we are very excited to see what you guys are able to do, hopefully this fall and this upcoming season. But once again, thanks for sitting down with us.
Of course. Thanks so much, Patrick.